Hello everybody! In this episode I'm going to give our home a Christmas makeover on an extreme budget. I just love Anthropologie's attitude when it comes to Christmas decor. It's fun, colorful and cheery. And it doesn't all have to be super wintry as long as you add some magic and sparkle. So in this episode I will make my own interpretation of the Anthro style but with zero emissions and an extreme tight budget. So let's get started! I got this unused cover for 15 euros from an online thrift store. It's very summery, but it does have golden sequins so we can make it right for Christmas. When done, I believe these will match that Anthro style. I'm going to make a test piece first to know what works and if I need to change something. I'm just cutting the dragonfly out with a small seam allowance, and the back of the pillow will give me the back at the same time. Convenient. This is a perfect project for hand stitching. I decided I need to secure the embroidery so it won't start coming undone. I'm putting on some iron-on interfacing on the inside. Then I trimmed the seam allowance and gently turned the dragonfly right side out. I have some old polyester filling, so I put that in and then all I need to do is close the opening. Great, only 7 more to go. Some of you might have heard me say this before, but I do love hand sewing. I can sit back and have a cup of coffee at the same time. This is by far the single most expensive part of this Christmas makeover, but if you divide the 15 euros with the 8 dragonfly ornaments I'm getting out of it, it's less than 2 euros for one. This Anthro wreath from last year's collection is gorgeous. I love the moody rich colors and the shiny glass bead details. I'm taking inspiration from it and making my own interpretation of it. I have 2 of these wreath bases. I bought them years ago from Ikea's As Is section for 2 euros. Originally they had plastic balls on them. First I need to cover the metal base, but before that I'm moving the light string around a bit so that the ornaments I'm planning to put on it won't cover them. I love utilizing things I already have, so I'm wrapping the base in this green velvet ribbon. I originally bought it for another project but didn't end up using it. I got this bag of old Christmas stuff for 4 euros at the thrift store, and now I want to dress up the lights a bit. I'm going to take these apart and use the red flowers for that. Sometimes there's a free section at the thrift stores here, and I took these broken pants from one of those. I washed them well and I'm going to make leaves for the wreath out of them. First I drew a pattern for a cluster of leaves. Then I needed the material to be sturdier, so I used my double-sided interfacing to attach 2 layers together. Then I top stitched them together following the edges. This is actually quite easy to do if you shorten the stitch length. Then the needle and the foot won't jump forward very much and it's easier to control where you want the needles to go. These beaded details came off of an old shirt. I'm going to use some of them to decorate the leaves. Some of you might have seen me share this wonderful portrait my son made of me, so I thought I'd sort of continue the tradition and share a pencil portrait I made of my son. I haven't told you this before, but my husband is half Japanese, and it's an important part of my son's identity too. Of course, I want to cherish that, and so he is wearing a traditional haori or kimono jacket in the portrait. Okay, sorry for the sidetrack. Back to the DIYs. I also bought a bag of scrap fabrics for €1, and I'm going to make some bows out of them. These were small leftovers, so I kind of made the sizes up by what I had to work with. These are so simple to make, anybody can do them. I think you could easily hand stitch one together if you don't have a sewing machine. Bows seem to be trending a lot right now, and I do love them. Have you had enough of them already? This longer and thinner strip with the pointed ends is going to make up the bow tails, and the bow part will be a bit shorter and wider. As I'm making these, I'm already thinking about storing them for 10 months of the year. So I'm attaching everything with some metal string I already have. This way it's easy to take the decorations apart for storage, and they will stay in good condition and will take less space in my already crowded storage. Okay, the second slightly smaller wreath will have a different coloring, and it's going into my youngest son's room, which I made over in a previous video. I also made an upholstered bed frame for him from a free Ikea bed, so if you're interested, check those two videos out. For this second wreath, I'm still using supplies from the same thrift store decorations and fabric scraps. And of course, I'm also using things I already had. Okay, I'm hanging the wreath over his bed, so I will change the sheets to something more Christmassy and then it's ready. Oops, better fix that before the artist notices. Okay, one last mini makeover to come, and I'm still using the same thrifted materials and other Christmas decorations I already had. This scrap fabric is real silk, and in person you can really tell just how pretty it is. Once again I'm making a bow, but this time I'm putting some polyester padding inside because the bow will be a bit bigger, but the fabric is very thin. This way it will look full and keep its shape. For this last one, I'm decorating this Fern Cabinet inspired furniture flip I made over a year ago, and I'm still so happy with it. I will leave the link for this one in the video description too. Here's the bow, and I put my darling late grandmother's brooch on it because I never use it, and this way it can bring joy to us. This pretty ornament was part of the bag of Christmas decor I thrifted for €4. It's a little worn from one side, but no one will ever see that. I'm cutting this loop in half because I like to tie the ornaments to the branches. This way they won't droop. And lastly, I'm tying in some decor I actually bought from a store last Christmas. The total for this year's additions to my holiday decorations was €20. Had I bought them from Anthropologie, they would have cost me at least €481. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. Which DIY was your favorite? And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.